live. Ladies and gentlemen, let's shake back. Time has come when we can finally breathe together again like we've been waiting to exhale. Exhale? I've been waiting to inhale too. What better way to step into the future than tap into a blast from the past with Ricky B? Come see the New Orleans rap legend perform live with no cover charge. Saturday, June 5th at the Chalmette Battlefield Bar, 2029 Paris Road, Chalmette, Louisiana. Also performing live, Godson Music. Yeah, and yours truly, the Higgnz, Higgnz. I repeat, performing live, Ricky B. Recently featured on the hit Netflix docuseries Hip Hop Evolution. Saturday, June 5th at the Chalmette Battlefield Bar, 2029 Paris Road, Chalmette, Louisiana. With no cover charge. New Orleans Fats and DJ Randy B on the ones and twos. And don't you forget it, buddy. My baseball team, I even hate to say it, we 0-4 right now, bro. I feel like we the best 0-4 team in the league. And I ain't never been 0-4 in rec ball. It messes with your ego, bro. It makes you start questioning things when you have a losing season. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, but not knocking the rec ball, but rec ball in St. Bernard Parish is, for lack of a better phrase, not what it used to be.
Oh, for sure.
Like, our kids are behind when it comes to recreational sports.
Yep. And what hurt me is they took away tackle football. Now, and we're getting into football.
Yeah. They took away tackle football. That definitely hurt me, man, because football, tackle especially, saves a lot of kids.
Right.
But it's gone. I mean, I think they have this Drew Brees flag football league or whatever, but
flag is actually becoming a lot more popular than it was in recent years. And
I encourage flag in the early stages of the game. I don't think 5 and 6 year old kids need to be banging heads. I think flag gives the kids a chance to learn the game. Learn positions, learn fundamentals, without, you see these 5 and 6 year old kids with a big helmet on, they big old shoulder pads,
Right. Well, yeah, like the 5-year-old football players. They just look like bowling balls running around on the field.
And
it's not much going on.
Yeah.
Now, when you started, how old were you?
Football. I actually started when I was about 6, but that year I would get really bad nosebleeds every time I
got hit.
So my mom took me out of it because of that reason. So I didn't play again until I got the tryst.
Wow.
I didn't play football again until I was like 12.
So your first year, like that, how some kids, when they just come out, they know, man, he's got it. He's got it. It wasn't for you in the beginning, obviously.
Hell nah, man.
So when you got the tryst, did it click?
I mean, I was always fast. I can always run. So yeah, that's where it really happened. That's where it clicked. It clicked that tryst. We had a coach by the name of Coach Johnson, and he put me in a position where he saw my speed, so he would always just give me the ball. Like I don't think we were really good my 6th grade year, 6th grade year. So he would just always give me the ball and just be like, run as fast as you can.
Just open up the seat for him and let him go.
Run as fast as you can.
Space.
Returning kicks, returning punts, and it just took off from there, man. Like, in sports, speed kills, man.
Yeah.
And I've always been able to run. Like, I looked up to my sister, right? So my sister was one of the fastest female track athletes in Chalmette, right? So I would always try to beat her, but I've never beaten my sister. Maybe as a grown man when I maybe about 19 or 20, I probably could have beat her. But before then, I didn't.
She got you everything. And how much older?
I didn't have a shot. My sister's 5 years older than me.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
she ran. She won state at Chalmette like 3 years in a row. She had scholarships out the wazoo.
That's awesome.
And she wound up. She was supposed to go to Ole Miss, but moms wanted her to stay close to home, so she wound up going to UNO. She ran track at UNO for 4 years, so she was my idol though. Like she got me.
That's
like
in the sports.
Yeah, track.
Right.
Track was our sport. We ran for a track club called St. Bernard Express back in the day.
I didn't even know they had track clubs back then.
Oh yeah. My sister. Well, and I was too young, but I was always fast enough, so they would put me out there. Like I
Right.
may, you probably have to be 10, and I may have been 7, but I was fast enough, so they would put me out there. But my sister, I don't know if you know Shelton Alexander.
No.
He was just inducted into the St. Bernard Hall of Fame. He played at St. Bernard for some years.
Oh, okay.
Wound up going to Northeastern. But my sister was my idol. My sister really got me into sports, man.
Right. So
She got-
you saw her success, and then you wanted to follow that. Like you know,
Yeah.
she was bringing home trophies before you was. You
She
know what I'm
was bringing
saying?
home trophy after trophy, plaque after plaque. MVP of the track meets. I can remember riding my bike. You know, I lived on Walker's Lane, and she ran at Chalmette. I can remember riding my bike just to go see her run. Like she was amazing, man.
Damn.
She was amazing, and I want, you know.
People don't understand the science of track. Like to be able, like, you know, if I could just get behind you and we race, right? We run a 40-yard dash. Now, when you get into those long runs, bro, you know those whatever I can't give you the millimeters, right? Whatever they call it, the longer meter runs.
Yeah,
you gotta be able to know how to control your breathing, and if you don't, if you're not trained on that, you'll burn out.
She was an amateur runner, but she was just good. I mean, my dad was athletic. They say he still has records at St. Bernard. My mom was athletic, and my sister just inherited that. And she was just, man, she ran one of the harder races in track. She ran the 400, and that's one of the hardest races in track.
No
and
shit.
She won the state like 3 years in a row. Like, I'm petitioning for her to be in the Hall of Fame because...
Yeah, well, right. Why would she get it?
Why? Right.
3 years. How many people won track 3 years in a row? How many people won state three? Nobody. I don't think.
I'm not sure. They do have a picture in the what do you call it? The trophy case in Chalmette, but I think she should be in the St. Bernard Hall of Fame. The St. Bernard Hall of Fame. There was a school. Not to get off topic.
No,
It's on
go
topic
ahead.
because we talking about sports, right? So there was a school back in the day. It was an all-black school called Violet Consolidated.
Dang, what year was this?
This was oh man, I wish somebody can tell me. Can somebody tell me what year was Violet Consolidated? But they said, from what I understand and talking to a couple of my relatives played, my Uncle Stanley Doucette, he played, but it was MLB caliber baseball players on that team.
Wow.
Year in and year out. They said they won state like 3 or 4 years in a row. I think that whole team should be inducted into
the Hall of Fame. And
yes.
And it takes for people like these conversations to make a case for that. Because
they don't recognize those guys. I don't know if it's because it was an all black school. But like you said, you never heard of Violet Consolidated.
I never heard of it, dude.
Right.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
And it had to be during segregation years, whatever that
it was.
60s.
You know what Milledon is? Mm-hmm. That was Violet Consolidated.
Will
school.
T. Smith was Violet Consolidated, before it was Milledon.
All black school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was at the only all black school in the parish?
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody from
to my
Araby on
knowledge.
down had to go.
Yeah, to my knowledge. To my knowledge, it was the only all black school. My cousin, well, she's more like my aunt. She was valedictorian. It's a lot of history from that school that I think needs to be brought out.
And it
But
takes, like
it's a
you
lot
said,
of those guys. There was Henry Reed, one of the best basketball players to ever play here, playing St. Bernard Parish. He wound up getting a scholarship to Alcorn State. Could have went pro. There was what's his? I'm bad with names, but a lot of them. Like the parish had a lot of professional football, basketball, baseball players, but it just didn't get recognized because of those times.
Right.
Because of how those times was. But I really think somebody should look into getting those guys, those teams from Valley Consolidated, the entire team.
There's got to be
inducted into the St. Bernard Parish
Hall of Fame.
Sports Hall of Fame.
There's got to be some legit documentation stored away somewhere on record of this school.
Yeah, well, there's stories. Yeah, there is. I've Googled and I found pictures of like the team pictures of all the guys, and they list them by name. So, and I don't know if you probably haven't, but there was a coach by the name of Coach Moore.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him.
Right, one of the greatest coaches.
It sounds like something we need to do a story on, bro.
We definitely
gotta get these people still exist. There's people that could tell a story who lived in those times.
He's passed, but his son is still alive. But he's since passed. But from the stories I get, Coach Moore was he was the Nick Saban of that time.
In the state?
And he was at that school at Valley Consolidated.
Right.
But because of the racial tensions and everything that was going on, they would never give him they didn't give him the job at St. Bernard. Like if he would have got the head coaching job at St. Bernard after Valley Consolidated closed, because it closed in I think about 69, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, 69 or 70. Man, St. Bernard would have had championship after championship, but yet right now we have none.
Well, and you would think that bringing the parish, right? Like right now, we only got one high school now. So remember when we were growing up, man, if you took all of the athletes from St. Bernard and Chalmette and put them together, we were in state. But there was always talk. Now you got that opportunity, and it's not happening. Before we dip into you, we got comments, bro. People are commenting.
What you got?
So we're gonna start up top.
Yeah.
Speaking to Jessica wanted to tell you.
Jessica
Easley.
Hey,
Your mom must
Jess,
raise champions. She needs to write a book.
Wait, what'd she say?
She said your mom must raise champions. She needs to write a book.
Yeah, she should write a book, man. My sister was awesome. My older sister was awesome. I did a little something. And my little sister is great. So yeah, my mom probably should look into writing a little book or whatever.
So I think she also said, I think your mom needs to be. Basically, she was saying, this is what we're talking about, the Hall of Fame. She said your mom needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she's definitely in the Hall of Fame.
And Pat
for me.
saying they need to be more recognized, which the Violet School, I didn't even know it had one.
That Violet School should definitely be recognized.
Man, that's a documentary waiting to happen, bro.
Yes, I talked to a friend of mine earlier. I don't know if you know Eric Robinson. He has the trucking company further up the road, but he and I talked about that, man, and he's adamant about trying to get that done. He's trying to put the right people together. So when we go up there knowing what we're talking about, and we got to do the research and get the stats and get So, but
Right.
that Violet Consolidated, that whole, they were so good. From the stories I've heard, like they were so good, they could have competed on any level. But of course, they only were able to play against black schools.
Right. So
But-
yeah, you think about this. Obviously, especially in that time, they don't. Saint Bernard wouldn't want them playing on the national on the state stage. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Chalmette and Saint Bernard can't make it, but Violet can. They didn't want. It's obviously it's a different time. It was a different time, bro.
It was a different time, and not only for the blacks at Violet Consolidated, but the poor lower class white people at the lower end of the parish felt that same brunt. There were some good athletes,
right? Right.
I've heard stories about Benny Ruiz, Jimmy Dada. All of those guys were good, man. But we just didn't get that recognition in Violet, a part of just a mirror. I mean, college coaches. When I was in high school, right? Sophomore year, college coaches were flocking. Like I think I may have I didn't eat lunch with. I ate lunch with college coaches
every day.
Every day.
Wow.
But it's different now. Like college coaches are not in the stands at Chalmette games.
They're not.
Now.
They're not.
And a lot of people have their thoughts on why. I don't want to speculate, but something's not happening right. They're not producing scholarship athletes at all at Chalmette High.
Right. And that's why I'm telling you, why would I let her waste her time playing high school softball if it's not going to do anything other than the potential of getting injured?
Sean? What's up, Sean? How you been, man?
I mean, that opens up potential of injury right there because now you're playing for two. You're playing around the clock. You got to be careful. You know how it goes when you get older. That first injury will nag you for the rest of your life, and you have to be careful. And overuse. So if why play if it's not going to do you anything but give you school spirit? And I don't really know too much about the boy program, but I do understand like baseball and softball, for instance, are in the same boat. Then people aren't getting scholarships through high school anymore. They're getting scholarships through travel ball. You know what I'm saying?
And it's basketball, they're getting it through AAU.
And then we talk about like low income families. Like there's so many athletes that can't afford. It's a money pot. It becomes a money pot. Like you have to spend the training money.
Sports have become so political. It's ridiculous, man. Like the people with the money are the people that are able to put the teams together, and those kids are the kids that are gonna get the scholarship.
Yep. And I talk to like other parents that I see at travel ball tournaments. Some of these exposure teams, like they have like strictly exposure teams who are sponsored by like Marucci or one of the these athletic dealers, and they travel across the country every weekend, not across the state.
Right,
they traveling across the country. And like, how would they paying for? No, they got to come out of pocket. So just think about that's taking a vacation damn near every weekend.
Right.
You can't afford. I mean, you don't have the money for that.
Right. So I got a question. They asked me a question real quick. Mm-hmm. It says, "What training do you offer at Fit Life LLC?" I offer sport-specific training, football and basketball. I'm not really a baseball guy, but football and basketball, sport-specific training, fundamentals, speed work for both boys and girls, and I also offer people that's trying to lose weight, or get healthy, or just get in shape. So the only thing Fit Life LLC is not doing right now is baseball, but everything else we're covering.
Something you should have been doing years ago. Or just to put it out there, it's something you should have been doing years ago.
And I'm actually looking to get in my own facility because I've been getting wherever I train at. I've been getting a little hate from the other trainers. So yeah, from the other people. So I really need to looking to get in my own spot. That's the goal. That's the goal. The short-term goal. Get in my own spot and offering those trainings to the public, man. And I just need the support. Like, it seems that the community doesn't fully support. I don't know what the reason is, because I'm good. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not getting the support that I thought I would. But it's a work in progress. Like,
I mean, I can see like you stepping into this because you just. I mean, how long you been doing? How long have you actually made it official where you're monetizing training? It hasn't been maybe not even a year yet, right?
No, not even a year yet.
So, when somebody like yourself steps into the game, you're obviously right. You're gonna be a threat. That's how they rather than looking at you as a positive, they look at you as a threat because you've actually you got skins on the wall. Not just I went to school for training. You got skins on the wall. You got to be trained by some of the best trainers in the world. Right. And that's the difference. Yeah. And that's why you're legit. You're legit. Like, why would I go to this guy? What kind of skin? What's your experience? What's your accolades as opposed to yours? Like, they're gonna want to see with you. And hey, it is what it is. I mean, that's life. Like, that's your passion. And there's more than, and the thing is about that, it's like there's more than enough for everybody to go around, bro.
Definitely. Definitely. But I wanted to work with Chalmette. Like, I training the athletes would have been an awesome thing for me, but they just, sports, like I said, sports are not a priority, man. So they're not gonna hire a trainer to come in and train their kids,
Right. Not
when other schools do that. Like, schools that win and win on a regular basis, they do that. They bring outside trainers in to train their kids. Like
John Curtis. That's not that's an athletic school. That's a program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
what. And I'm not dissing Chalmette, please. Whoever, I'm not dissing Chalmette, but I don't think Chalmette is a program. I think it's just a high school that has a football team.
Right. And
it's not a program. You never see Chalmette coaches. I'm not gonna say never, but you rarely see Chalmette coaches at the Little League games, or the middle school games. You rarely see that. But if you and John Curtis, JT, they going to the middle school games. They going to see what they gonna get. Like the coaches from Rummel, they going to those junior high games to see what's the talent that's coming up. It's just different.
They're playing for the next 5. They're preparing themselves for the next 5 years. They're not setting themselves up for what's going on right there. And
but Chalmette is a great academic school though. Like it definitely is. But it can be both. It can be a great academic school and it can be a great athletic program.
Right.
They should be pushing out scholarship after scholarship after scholarship.
When you're talking high school, we go back to high school. What got you into Hannon? Because you obviously had a choice. You could have went to Chalmette or Hannon.
Nah, I wasn't going there.
I'm going through this history here. Right, I want to. We in middle school. You played for Trist. Obviously, use the man.
At Trist, right? And Coach Johnson's at Trist. He was going to Hannon the next year, so obviously they recruited me there. But I wanted to go to Chalmette to play with my friends. I don't know if you know Terry Green and Buster Green.
I heard of Terry.
So,
I don't know him personally. No.
So I call up Terry Green. I'm like, bro, man, I'm gonna build you. It's probably we probably get 1 year to play together, but I'm coming to play with you, man. I want to come to Chalmette. And he was like, man, you better not come to Chalmette, man.
Yeah,
you better not. So Hannon was right there, but my choice, I was supposed to go to St. Aug. Like, yeah, that was when I did my Hall of Fame speech, I actually said that. Like, Hannon was not my choice. My mom made me go.
Made you go to Hannon.
And it was the greatest 5 years of my life because I went there in 8th grade. I'm so glad she made me go. But I was all set up to go to St. Aug.
I forgot Hannon had 8th grade, now that you mention that.
Yeah, I was going to run track at St. Aug and play football. It was all set up, man. And I don't know if I should say this, but it goes to the pot. Yeah, I'm going to say it. It goes to the
say
it goes to the politics of the game. Like, I was going to have my own place up there because I lived in the parish and my mom worked a lot, so she wasn't going to be there to bring me. So they had me set up with this apartment situation. So it was going to be like some real blue chip type shit. You know
the blue chip, yeah.
But yeah, and I was young. I actually cried when my mom bought those Hannon High uniforms. Like, I did not want to play there. I did not want to go there. But I'm so glad I did.
Well, because it didn't have... See, Hannon didn't have the tradition. St. Aug has such a tradition at the time. It was like...
My cousins went there. My older cousin, like my brother Chris Pryor, went there. My cousin Kevin Moore went there. My cousin Mackie went there. My whole family went there.
Right. So once you realized you had a chance, St. Aug, I want to go to St. Right, exactly. Yeah. I want to follow in footsteps.
And then a lot of those guys that were going to St. Aug at that time, we all played AAU basketball together. We ran track together. So it was already done. It was like, yeah, Jeff, man, yeah, you gotta come play with us.
Now, 8th grade year, Did you play JV 8th grade year?
8th grade, yeah, I played JV and freshman. I could have played. They were actually trying to get the rule changed for me to play varsity.
They wanted you. You could have played varsity if they let you. If they would have let you.
If the LHSAA would have let an 8th grader play varsity, I would have played varsity football in 8th grade.
So, all right. So 9th grade year. 8th grade year, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was you a standout?
I mean, I don't like to pat myself on.
No, we gotta. I mean, honestly, like, dude, you play professional football. Yeah. You're gonna just pass everybody up eventually. When did it? You pass everybody up.
So 8th grade year, I passed everybody up.
8th grade year.
So to speak, like I practiced. I was a scout teamer. Like, when you in 8th grade, you gotta. When you younger, same as the pros, when you're a younger guy coming in, you run scout team again. So I was a running back, right? So I would run scout team. I would be the scout team running back to go against the first team defense.
Right. So you basically like practice squad player in a sense.
And I was killing them. I'm talking 8th grade. I was killing.
You was hurting feelings in 8th grade. That's dope.
Feelings,
and you was a running back, correct?
Yeah, I played running back my whole life until my junior year in high school and college, man.
And once I guess it comes to a point where like, where's he gonna?
What's up, Angela?
What's gonna get?
Ask a question, huh?
What's gonna get you that scholarship? Running back or did you always play cornerback?
No, I've never played cornerback.
So when you played, were you always offense? What you played on defense?
I didn't play defense.
You never played any defense at all?
Never played any defense at all.
And then they transitioned you in your junior year to defense?
Yeah. Well, my freshman year, I played both ways, kind of. They saw my athletic ability. There was a need at corner. What's up, Angela? There was a need at corner. So they started throwing me in games, and I wound up getting interception. So I played both ways. Like I was running back, DB. I think I had 3 interceptions my freshman year in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You jumping the gun now. Let's go to high school now. Let's keep it in high school. Because so when you got to a freshman, did you play varsity your freshman year?
In high school?
Yes.
Yeah.
So was you starting?
The first game, I didn't start. They had me splitting time with my boy Sam Battaglia. We were splitting time. But once I got the ball, once I started doing my thing,
right.
I mean, they found the starting spot for me. They put me at receiver. So I started.
We was playing wide receiver.
Yeah. So I started wide receiver my freshman year, and kick returner. I actually made All-State my freshman year.
Wow.
Like I've made All-State. It's never been done in Louisiana. I made All-State all year. 4 years.
And when you made All-State your freshman year, in what position was you All-State?
Kick returner.
That's okay. And then going in your sophomore year, what was your All-State position?
Running back.
All right, see, then running back.
Yeah.
Then junior.
Running back the rest of the way.
Okay.
So you got guys in Louisiana, greats. You got the Leonard Fournettes. You got
McKnight.
You got the McKnights. You got the Jonathan Wells, who's my guy. I love the debt with up Jay Wells. I'm the only guy in Louisiana history that made All-State all 4 years in a row.
That's fire, bro. Like,
I mean, that's in the history books. I hope some kid comes along and breaks that record.
You would hope. How can you break 4 years in a row? I mean, what can you
gotta be better than me.
So what? Well, you statistically, right? You would have to be better than you statistically.
Yeah, and my stats compared to a lot of those greats, man. That's why, like I said, the politics of the game kind of, and I didn't know. You know, we didn't know. My family didn't really know how to maneuver in the college world, the high school world. But my stats, my statistically stack up with any player in Louisiana, like that. All the greats. I mean, Cecil Collins, Rondell Mealy, what's the other guy? Kevin Falk, Leonard Fournette, all of those guys.
That's awesome.
All of those guys. Marshall Falk.
That's another one, right?
He never made All-State 4 years in a row.
Damn. And
and
you hear his story. He didn't even plan on playing basketball. I mean, playing football. He wanted to be a basketball player.
Yeah,
Somebody had to manipulate him to decide to play football.
Yeah.
Now, going back, did you what were you play? Did you play any sports after, from the bloody nose to middle school?
Basketball.
You was a basketball player.
Was my first love. Like I played basketball.
You wanted to be Jordan just like everybody else. I've
been this height since I was 12. I just stopped growing.
Bro, that's the same thing, yeah.
So, me and one of my best friends, Courtney Iceberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Iceberg, man.
Yeah, shout out to Iceberg, man. 800 yards more each season. Play. Yep, you're right. Shout out to Iceberg, but me and Iceberg played basketball together, man. That's another story. Listen.
You played basketball in high school?
Yeah.
So you played?
Yeah, it was good. I played basketball, football, and I ran track.
Okay, all right. So you didn't play baseball.
They wanted me to play baseball,
but you can't,
man,
right?
And I think I should have.
Well, isn't track kind of in baseball in the same time?
Yeah, I should have worked it out, man.
You miss it now, yeah.
But back to Iceberg, Courtney Miller, right?
Mm-hmm.
He and I played together basketball from 5 years old together, man. So we play at Rebel Park, right? We killing, and I don't think this was a racist thing, right? So he and I are killing the circuit. We killing bitty basketball. Nobody's beating us. We blowing people out, right? So our last year in bitty, they split us up. Courtney, they didn't let us play on the same team together.
That ain't right.
No, I know it ain't right.
Well, how would they do that? Because we had like A, B, and C teams. We didn't have.
They made a Rebel Blue and a Rebel Gray.
Y'all had that many people signing up at the time?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So they split us up. And the irony of it is we were on separate teams, but at the end of the year, they gave out MVP, and he and I both they both gave us co-MVP.
No shit.
Because we balled out, yeah. But they wouldn't let us play on the same team no more because we were killing.
If y'all would have both played on the Rebel team, the other Rebel team would have got left out. Like it wouldn't have.
I mean, we were just killing when he and I played together. In those bitty years, we were killing everything.
And y'all played together so much that he knew what you was gonna do. You knew what he was gonna do.
Well, we grew up next door to each other, so we played on the street together.
Yep. And exactly, y'all practice all day long. Y'all
all day long.
Come up with your own plays. Y'all had everything. That ain't right. Just think about how many trophies they left out. Y'all could have, the things y'all could have got.
They split us up, man. They split us up that last year, but the irony of it is they had to give both of us MVP. After that last bitty season, man, and it was great, man.
Now the only who we never even brought up, Byron Santiago.
Courtney was Jordan, bro. I was Pippen. Courtney was definitely Jordan. Yeah, who was Jordan? He was Pippen. Courtney was Byron Santiago was awesome, man.
Yeah, he was a beast, bro. Yeah. He was
a little big cousin, but
he's older.
Nah, he's younger than me.
But he ain't much younger, huh?
I just made 25.
You made 20, yeah.
I just made 40, so Byron has got to be 38, maybe.
I think he might be a year younger. I don't know. I'm 39.
He's 38.
He played at Kenilworth 1 year when I was there.
Yeah, Byron was awesome, man.
Yeah, he was good. And you know what?
Byron was
not
good.
only that, but he was real humble, bro. He wasn't arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
That's our grandfathers are brothers, man. We come from humble people.
Right.
Like it's not about arrogance. It's about getting better and trying to get everybody around you better, man.
Well, but that he had it too. I mean, you and him, he had the stint in the NFL also.
The Green Bay, he had the back injury. What's sad is that the same politics. Yeah.
Now I don't want to stray away from that. Let's go back to the high school. Now we going. Well, we finished your senior. Now let's go down to your senior year.
High school.
When did you bring recruiters to Hannon to come watch you?
What do you mean?
Like, in other words, we're talking about recruiters, right? You trying to? I mean, obviously you chose Tulane. Tulane chose you.
That's another story, bro.
Well, that's that. That's what I want to know.
I was supposed to go to. I committed to Clemson. That may be. I love Tulane. I'm TU for life. TU for life. I love Tulane, but I was supposed to go to Clemson with Tommy Bowden. I got recruited. I got offered a scholarship my sophomore year to Tulane. The coach at the time was Buddy Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a sophomore, and they wanted me to commit to a scholarship as a sophomore. Like at Hannon, there was college coaches every day.
That's amazing.
Every day there was college coaches in there. And then when Byron and Dontrell and all of them came in, my homeboy Chevis played basketball. He wound up signing with Colorado. My boy Alan Cox, man, played quarterback. So
they had a few of y'all that made it from Hannon that actually.
Yeah, it was a few of us, man. It was a few of us.
And then
Nealon Brown, man, but he wound up going to St. Bernard after. But Nealon Brown was one of the greatest football players I ever played with.
Wow.
Like, hands down.
And so then Tulane. So how did Tulane become a choice? Because you wanted Clemson. You committed at Tulane as a sophomore, but that doesn't mean
I didn't commit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't commit. I always wanted to leave to play ball. So I turned down the visit to Tulane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I committed to Clemson. Every coach in the metropolitan area was hitting me up, calling my mom's like, just tell him take the visit. You know, you never know if you want to come home. You might want to come home. Then it was this thing where Clemson is in South Carolina. My mom probably would have never been able to see me play besides on TV. My grandmother was getting old. You know, just my family wouldn't have been into it. I still should have went to Clemson, but I take the visit to Tulane. And this is the thing. I was going to Clemson to play defensive back.
Right.
Whatever happened to Randall Paul and the one day, I'm going to get to that.
So you were sold on Tulane. Like, I mean, you wasn't sold on Tulane. You sold on Clemson.
I was going to Clemson.
You walking through Tulane's halls with Clemson on your mind. And
I just took the visit as a courtesy, right? And I made up in my mind, I'm going to Clemson to play DB. That was my mind was made up. But when I get to Tulane on a visit, they're like, man, you're gonna be our starting running back. This the politics. This is what coaches tell you.
Right.
Man, you're gonna be our starting running back, man. You're gonna be our guy, man. Your name gonna be in lights in New Orleans, you know. So that coupled with my family is gonna be to watch me play every week. I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna take over the city. So I made the decision to go to Tulane.
And that was just because you got it was for the family. You basically did it.
I gotta take a leap.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
Do your thing. Wait, nobody's going anywhere.
Second, nobody going anywhere.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yep. No knock on.
Well, let's go back.
Go ahead.
All right, so where we at? All right, so you chose Tulane. You chose Tulane for the city.
For the city, man. I
city.
love my city. I love Violet. Yeah.
And
I'm out.
So how many you played? What position? Give as Tulane freshman year.
Freshman year, there was a guy, an awesome player by the name of Tony Converse. Awesome player. Tony Converse was awesome, man. He was the running back at the time, and granted, they had just went 12-0 the year before I got there, so
damn,
that was an awesome selling point. Also, like, we gonna piggyback off of this. I think we wound up going 3-9 or something. Though.
The following season.
The following year, but Tony Converse and I split time. There was a guy from Florida, was actually my roommate, Gennario Rashard. So it was like a 3-back. It was 3 of us splitting time, you know. So I played running back.
Your freshman year.
But like I said, there was a need at DB also, so they would put me in at the nickel back, and I found some success there. Like I said, I had 3 interceptions as a freshman
in
college, playing both ways, and they would actually put me at receiver sometimes. Punt return, kick return. Like I was almost like a smaller version of Charles Woodson back then.
Now, I want to know this. These are questions. Like, when you go from high school to college.
What's up, cuz? We getting it.
How much more did, like, the level of competition? Like, when you walked onto the field the first day, did you feel the difference in the speed?
No.
In the game, like the game it wasn't any faster for you. It was the same game. It didn't.
No, because speed was my thing. Like naturally, speed was my thing. But there were in high school, they may be 2 or 3 studs on a team, right? Mm-hmm. In college, there's 10 or 12 people that studs
that are just
that are just
above
that are just
cut above
out.
The rest.
Yeah.
Now,
that just flat out get it, right?
Scheme, learning the playbook. How hard was that? Did that feel different?
Nah, that was always easy because I was always a student in the game, and I can remember doing doing an interview about football. Period. My senior year, I was always a student of the game, and I can remember telling the reporter like the physical aspect of the game is the easiest part, but the mental aspect
It's definitely the hardest part.
yes, the mental aspect is the hardest part of the game.
Right.
You gotta study.
Right.
You gotta study the game, and I was a student of the game. Like my mental aspect, every week it got bigger and bigger.
Right.
Like
right.
mentally, I got deeper and deeper into football every week.
Yeah, and I mean I noticed that from just coaching kids over the last 10 years. It's like when they're younger, you'll have these kids that just kind of stand out
Samara?
because they athletically gifted. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, right.
And then eventually those windows close. If they don't
Yeah.
process the game mentally, it
Got-
becomes more the mental aspect takes
They
over.
say it's 10%.
Physical, 90% mental. It's definitely
and that's
mental.
definitely true.
It
You
for
gotta,
sure.
and not to skip everything, but especially in the pros, man. When I got to Dallas, and granted, and I was a novice at DB. Like I wasn't a seasoned
Right.
corner. They give you a playbook so big.
How big is how big is it? I hear
It's
about
like,
it.
man, a playbook is so big, and they just give it to you, and you gotta know, like the next day of practice, you gotta know what they talking about. Like you gotta.
They don't even tell you,
they
hey,
don't-
we
don't-
we're gonna go through this one. This page is here through here. Pages here
It
through.
ain't no
Study that.
babying. It ain't no babying.
Nothing.
Now they might say this is what we working on. You need to study this tonight, but it ain't no babying. And if you don't know it,
Bam, you gone.
they pulling you out. They giving somebody else that rep.
Right. Now, how many years did you play running back in college?
I never played a full year running back in college, like exclusively, right? So my freshman year I played both ways. My sophomore year was the year I got the starting position. It was mine, but I got hurt. I got a high ankle sprain, so I missed like 6 games. And when you get hurt, there's always somebody behind
For
you.
sure. Somebody
So
hungry.
My homie, who I love to death, he wound up getting drafted in the 4th round by the Vikings. Weldy Moore. He was a dog, man. So when I got hurt, he stepped up,
and
he they were talking Heisman.
no shit. And
Yeah.
it probably that time sitting back, being behind you, and not being the guy may have been that thing that elevated him to the next
Because
level.
I was the guy going my sophomore year. I was the guy, and I had a few mishaps. Like I can remember the first week of my sophomore, week 1 my sophomore year, we play Ole Miss. They got a lot of plays designed for me. So the first play, I break off a 19-yard run. Like I'm ready. Second play, a 20-something yard run. Third play, I fumble. Yeah, so then we play like 2 or 3 weeks later. I think it was like week 5. We played UL Monroe, I think. No, it might have been UL Lafayette. They changed school names so much, but it was USL.
That's conference games though, right?
it was
That's insane conference.
It was USL that back then. So I'm having a great game. So I'm redeeming myself, and that's the game I got the high ankle sprain, and I was out damn near the rest of the season. I missed like 6 games. Came back. Weldy was balling. I couldn't hate. You can't. I mean, he was balling.
Right.
I mean, he was in.
You knew that you knew it was up. You knew it.
Quiet as kept. He was bigger, a lot bigger. He was about 6 foot, 215 pounds. I mean, I was what? You know how much I weighed when I played running back in college?
You looked a lot slimmer than you do now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I was about 5'9", maybe 170.
Jeez.
You know?
That sounds like DB weight. You know?
Yeah,
that sounds like a DB.
I was a DB, so everybody, I was a...
It was just waiting to happen. It was imminent that was going to be where you ended up. It's just a matter of time.
You know the schools that recruited me to play DB?
I could have. Tell me, yeah, that's what we need to know. Like
Florida, Notre Dame, Illinois, Texas A&M, and me not having nobody to give me the game, I turned down all of those schools, man.
So for everybody listening, he turned down all of them schools for you, for the city. He turned all of them schools down for the city.
Right.
That's crazy. That's amazing. Because most people would have put Tulane on the back burner no matter what.
I should have.
You know? Well, yeah, we all make those mistakes. You was thinking about you wanted to be a star, and it was in a sense it's an ego-driven decision because you wanted to shine for your people.
Yeah, I wanted.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I love my people. I love my city. New Orleans is great. Violet is even greater. You know what I'm saying?
And it was just hey, look, but you still got the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You still got that.
I still
Now
that's what I'm saying. People don't, and that's where. I felt like people were already hating on me from high school, right? I was this preppy kid. So they thought I went to the all-white school. I was the preppy kid. That was the stigma in the hood. Looking back, that was the word.
That you was the preppy kid out the bunch, right? Because you went to hand.
I thought I was too much, man. Girls would say that, and I'm sure guys would think that, but that wasn't the case, man. I just wanted everybody connected to me to experience what I experienced, man.
Right, and I think this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think like people don't realize at that age, you thinking about where you want to be 5-10 years from now. You're not thinking about what's going on Saturday night, and a lot of that has to do with that. Like you probably turned down a lot of action. You know what I'm saying, on the streets because it wasn't you knew that it was not going to get you where you want to be at. So you turned it down.
And I did have some there was some guys around me like Terry Green, but they wouldn't let me get into no
trouble on the street.
Nah, man.
Right?
Nah, they were damn,
and that's your real friend. That's who your real friends are. Like they know you got a chance.
You got some Wi-Fi in here?
Yes, I did. Why you lost the signal?